Just scrolled into the Wide Open Wednesday live broadcast. That's right. Yours truly, Nitro Nick Leach and America's Mechanic Fred Fletcher. We're going to go over all the local racing, and we're going to have some special guests along the way. Could be drivers, could be some of the great people that we have in our racing community, or it could be you. You never know. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being a part of Wide Open Wednesday. We'd like to thank all our sponsors and everybody involved here. Thanks for stopping in. We hope you enjoy the show. And we're going to have some special guests along the way. Could be drivers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Hello. Don Allen, I got a surprise for everybody tonight, my brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nope, I didn't put the video up yet. I will in a minute. Where am I at? I'm hiding. I don't want to embarrass myself, Don. I'm hiding. Hold on a minute. Too funny, right? Here I am in all my glory, Don. And look, Jason Kelsey is in the right direction. The race cars are in the right direction. And now we're going to have some damn fun here on Wide Open Wednesday. So guess what? The shit is going to hit the fan, as Bob Drayton would say. Aha. I got to thank a whole lot of people for helping us out with this deal. It was a camera setting. I had to put the software for the camera that we use on this computer and go into the settings for the camera and make it right. So guess what? Me and Fast Freddy are going to have some fun. Me and America's Mechanic. Let's put it that way. Let me see. I got some comments here already. Loud and clear. Absolutely. So, yeah, he's the correct way. He looks kind of crazy, don't he? We got to thank the people from Garage Beer, and they gave us a lot of swag. We have a flag over there. Now we can adjust and move on. Of course, we have them beer cans are empty because when Fred's here, we drink some Garage Beer. The moonshine's all gone. But, yeah, we got to make a few adjustments, but right now we're in good shape. We have some great guests that are going to come on here. We're broadcasting from our Wide Open Wednesday Facebook page. We're broadcasting from Lowdown Entertainment's page, which is Joe Adams, and I may have Joe on here a little later. And we're broadcasting from our Wide Open Wednesday YouTube page. Thanks to Kate Brown for setting that up for us. Kate's been a little bit under the weather. A couple weeks, I'm going to have the Slaughter girl that won a 602 crate race at Grandview. Going to have her on here. Thanks to Joe Adams and them, and she's going to be a part of our Leadfoot Ladies of Racing. So hopefully we're going to get Kate in the studio for that. But Earl Krause has entered the room. He told me he wasn't going to be on today, but guess what, Earl? Surprise! So Earl's in the green room getting a sandwich and getting something cold to drink. But yeah, the cars are in the right way. I got to thank Rob from RPM, Racers Preferred Models. I know there's stuff out there, but be patient. Be patient. Rob's got something in mind. So Rob gave us these cars. These are the three guys battling for the point championship at New Egypt. Danny Buck, of course, won last week, and we are going to have Danny Buck on here. And we're going to have Cale Ross on here, and we're going to have Johnny Banks. So when them guys come in, we'll go to them. But first and foremost, as always, he's always first. He's either first here or he's first on Need for Speed. And, of course, Fred's not going to be doing Need for Speed on WBCB because he's in the Outer Banks. Just to let everybody know he's safe. He's enjoying his vacation. I talked to him this morning. He said the waves are unreal. I said, well, catch a wave, man. Grab a board and go surfing. What's the matter with you? He goes, no, I'm a little old for that, and I haven't lost enough weight yet. So he's ready. But I got to bring this legend in here. He's been a big help to us, and takes care of us with Area Auto and stuff like that. So let's bring Earl in here.
Hey,
where the hell you been, Earl?
Good evening. Very good. My wife Pam and I just got back on Friday night from the Outer Banks. We were down there last week.
See that? So you went to the Outer Banks to make sure it was okay for Fred to go.
That's right. That's it. We set the put out the red carpet for Fred and cleared the way down Route 13 and Route 168 right to the Outer Banks. So I hope Fred's enjoying himself, and that's good to know he's safe. That he was okay with the hurricane down there.
Yeah, I think he's down there with the grandkids. I think he's down there enjoying himself. Nick Crocker made us a hot rod, Earl. The computer we had just wasn't fast enough. So Fred had this guy in his pocket all along. He didn't want to pull the trigger. Well, he pulled the trigger. And this thing can launch the space shuttle. It's so fast. I come in here. I did a couple adjustments. I thought to myself how to get this camera turned around. I forgot that I didn't have the software on this computer to make the adjustments on the camera that we use. And lo and behold, look, the cars are going the right direction. And they look like they're going down the front stretch at New Egypt.
Everything looks good.
Yeah, everything looked good. Everything's working good. I got my notes from Kate on my tablet here. Of course, we're going to do a little tribute to Ernie Saxton. Of course, you know Ernie. We lost Ernie. Ernie was under the weather, and I think he may have got sick, but I think Ernie probably more so died of loneliness. I know he really missed his wife Marilyn. They were really, really close. But I mean, the weather was beautiful last week, Earl.
Oh yeah, we had a great crowd at Wall Stadium. We had the Cliff Krause Memorial, the race that honors Cliff, who was the Wall Stadium promoter for many years. Died suddenly of a heart attack about 8 years ago. He was only age 65, and his son Andrew competes at Wall Stadium. His wife Diane is the promoter, Cliff's wife Diane, and their daughter Emily is general manager. So it's a real family operation. Andrew Krause is 4-time and defending modified champion. He's won his dad's memorial race 3 times, and he was going for a 4th win Saturday night. He was in command of the race, had the lead at lap 111 of 127, and suddenly coming off turn 2, as soon as he got on the throttle, the motor let go, just totally unexpected, and ended up that it was a race to the checkered between Tyler Truex, who is the nephew of Martin Truex Jr., and Stephen Reed. They raced for the win, and it was quite exciting. Tyler Truex took the victory. That was one of his biggest wins ever at Wall Stadium.
Wow, how about that?
Yep. And the Cliff Krause Memorial, it's one of our crown jewel races, along with the Turkey Derby and the Garden State Classic. Tyler Truex, a former Sportsman Division champion, moved up to the modifieds a few years ago. He's won a couple of modified features. And on nights when the modifieds were scheduled off, he's driven a sportsman car. Matter of fact, this year he also won a sportsman feature driving for Paul Hartwig. So, but Tyler Truex drove a great race, pitted early because he had brake issues. Matter of fact, what happened is they had problems during hot laps with the brakes. And when they were doing that brake work in the pit area, they put the brake fluid back in, and the cap on the master cylinder wasn't tight. So early in the race on Saturday night, the cap blew off, and the brake fluid actually came back into the car. They made quick work, got everything done. He restarted at the rear of the field, raced his way back up, and won the race over Stephen Reed. Stephen's a 4-time Garden State Classic winner. So it was quite a win by Tyler Truex, very popular with the fans. And our 3 other races that were run Saturday night, the ATQM or ATQ Midgets, that win was taken by Ryan Tidman, who was a 5-time champion of the TQ Midgets. And he won the Cliff Krause Memorial TQ Midget race last year. So he was very happy to win that race, driving for Paul Dodorico in car number 99. It's a Long Island-based team. Brian Osborne won the factory stock feature. Brian won opening night this year, and he's a third-generation competitor. His grandfather, Clint Osborne, raced at Wall Stadium in the 1970s, drove a Mustang in the original modern stock division. And his dad, Glenn Osborne, excellent racer at Wall Stadium, won a lot of times there. And he also raced at Flemington. And now Glenn is crew chief on son Brian's car. And the sportsman feature was won by Neil Rutt III, again, a third-generation competitor. Neil's grandfather raced at the same time as Clint Osborne in the modern stocks. Neil's dad, Neil Jr., raced in the modified division as well as the support divisions. And now Neil Rutt III is carrying on that family tradition. And it was a very emotional night, along with honoring Cliff Krause. Ironically, the date of the race last Saturday, it was 18 years ago to the day that John Blewett III lost his life in a racing accident at Thompson, Connecticut. So we were honoring John Blewett III along with Cliff Krause. We were also honoring Jack Duffy, a very fine midget and TQ midget and modified driver who passed away last week. He was 94 years old. He was from New Jersey. He won a lot of TQ midget races over the years, including indoors over the years, driving for Lou Zrinski. Jack was just a great guy. They called him the King of Cool. He was like your ultimate 1950s and 60s race driver, and just a great gentleman. And the other person we honored Saturday night, it was really unexpected. Many of our listeners may know this gentleman, Gary McEwen, great race fan from New Jersey. He was only in his 50s, passed away very suddenly Saturday morning. He was at Wall Stadium every week. He'd be right at the top of the grandstand. On Friday night, he and his friends, racing fans from Wall, they went to Stafford Speedway in Connecticut for the races and had a great time. Went to the diner afterwards, went back to the motel. They were planning, get up nice and early, go have breakfast, take the ride back to Wall Stadium for the Cliff Krause Memorial. Sadly, on Saturday morning, Gary suddenly passed away, massive heart attack, we understand. So his whole family, all of his friends were there at Wall on Saturday night. They said this is the best way to honor their friend. They wanted to be there at Wall. And so it was a very emotional night. And it turned out super well. And the weather was perfect. It was just, like those gentlemen who we were honoring that they kind of got together with the spirit, that the
absolutely.
It's all meant to be. So that's what it's all about. And, you and I have talked about this with Fred over the years, that we're all part of a special racing family. And you could see that tonight, how everyone just got together, literally put arms around each other and said, hey, we're here we're all here together, and remember why we're here. And that's what it's all about. And I'm sure it's the same way at New Egypt, when there's special races there as well, at Bridgeport, Grandview. And, Ernie Saxton, what can you say about him? I mean, I worked with him over the years through Area Auto Racing News. Our paths crossed many times. We worked together at the Motorsports Show, at indoor races. Boy, when you say icon of the sport, that was Ernie.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head. And you're talking about special races. We had one Saturday night for Katie Mancini.
Yes.
Rob Mancini's mother. And it was a great race. I mean, a great modified race. The Crate Classic was also really good. I really felt bad for Ethan Bill. Came up 4 pounds light. But Ethan's a good guy. He's going to win a lot of races. He's going to win championships. I know it was hard for him to swallow that, but if we race tomorrow, Mother Nature's trying to throw us a curveball. We race tomorrow, I know he'll be there for the Short Track Super Series race. But it was a great atmosphere. I talked to Rob earlier. I asked Rob if he wanted to come behind the flags, and he said no. He said, I chose you to be my mouthpiece. So I knew Katie. I talked about Katie. She was a great person, and it was a nice night. It was a really nice night. And I know Jimmy Blewett was good friends with them through the quarter midget stuff and all that. And he put some money up. There was some nice money for the race. Danny Buck won a lot of money on that night, so that was pretty cool. And Danny is the defending champion of the race that's supposed to be tomorrow, the Short Track Super Series race. So Danny is trying to win the championship at New Egypt. And the 3 cars that you see on the screen here, them guys are battling for a championship. But there's a couple other guys that if something happens, anything can happen. We all know that. So, but it was a special night for a special person, and we do what we do. So now I have a guy in the green room, Earl, and he's kind of working and he's out on the road. So I want to bring him in because I kind of chipped him the last time he was here. So go in the green room, get your iced tea or whatever you do. I'll bring this guy in, that way he can finish working and go home to his kids.
I'll enjoy the catered snacks in the green room right now. So.
All right, I'm going to let Earl go. I'm not going to let him go. I'm just going to put him back in the green room, and I'm going to bring this other guy in here real quick. All right, so we remove Earl. Let me go over here because I have a special banner for this guy. So we'll bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, Cale Ross, who drives the 112 at Bridgeport. The last time we done this deal, Cale, we were kind of like cutting in and out. We didn't have we didn't have our shit together. We kind of got our stuff together a little better now. And you got your stuff together too. Congratulations on your win at Bridgeport, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like the banner. It's the right color. It's got the whole deal. So look at you go.
Well, we're learning here. I had to do a couple adjustments. Everything was backwards. Now it ain't backwards no more. I kind of feel better. I was waiting for Jason Kelsey to come up here and beat me up because he was backward the whole time. Garage Beer sponsors us here, and Fred knows at Pat Dion Beverages there. He's good friends with them, and they hooked us up with some Garage Beer. Fred won't drink any other beer but Garage Beer, and he found some of that down at the Outer Banks, so he's a happy camper. But, Cale, I mean, tell the people what you told me when I talked to you on the phone. Bridgeport's a different animal now. The tires aren't wearing out. The track's smooth now. And, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we've grown a liking to it. I mean, ever since he built the place, I really liked the place. And we used to race, at New Egypt, and we still go there. And there's things we like about New Egypt. But I just like the hard-charging kind of track. I mean, the whole reason I switched to go there, we were kind of frustrated with what we were doing, and that was a place where you can kind of let your frustration out. You can just really run the crap out of the car, and some guys like that, some guys don't like that. But I mean, they've slowed us down a little bit this year with some of the rules that they have, but it is, at the end of the day, still a different animal than anywhere else you go race.
Yeah, but you're a no-nonsense guy. You'll race with anybody, wheel to wheel. Stupid stuff happens. I seen you lose your temper a couple times, reminded me of my brother. I mean, you spend a lot of time at your race car, spend a lot of money on it. You got no time for craziness. And then, of course, we have the keyboard warriors. They're all experts, and they've never worked on a car or never put a car on a racetrack. I mean, I've seen you go pretty good at New Egypt. I know you can go pretty good there. And basically, you can go pretty good wherever you go, Cale.
Yeah, I mean, we're very passionate about it. I've always loved racing to death. I mean, I kind of started later than some other guys have, and we didn't get in the modified division sportsman, till I was almost 30 years old. So we were kind of late to the party, but I still love it to death. And there's things, that bother you about it. You get frustrated here and there, but at the end of the day, I want to win races. I can't stand not being up front, and there's a lot of times that we're not. I've spent a lot of time around the back, and some places we still go and get our ass kicked on a regular basis. And but I am proud that we're able to run up front and do well at the tracks that we go to, most commonly.
Well, the night that I went to go out to dinner with Fred on his birthday, your family was there, and I seen the little guy, and he's becoming a pretty good racer in his own right. The boy is doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's he's getting better and better, and now we moved him up to a older kid division, and now he's getting his butt kicked again. But he's getting better every time he gets out there, and he's got the advantage of me in his corner, and where we take him racing is where I grew up racing. So I know some tricks to that place. I know some setups, the carts that work really good, and that is one thing he's spoiled with. He's usually got a pretty good driving race car. So that's the only thing I worry about, is that when he doesn't get a good driving race car, that he can't figure out how to wheel it. So he's going to have to learn that, and but we're having fun with it.
Cale, where do you like now? It's almost near the end of the season. Every track has had a ton of rainouts. if we didn't have them rainouts, you would probably be real close in the points at
Well,
Bridgeport.
Actually, Bridgeport only rained out one time all year. So,
oh yeah, that's true. That's right.
Yeah. The reason we're out of the points, we had a 2-week scheduled trip that we scheduled a year ago, a family vacation. It was very important to my family, very important to my wife, and it sucked. We were second in points, and we were close to, Dylan. Dylan was the best car as far as, just consistency all year.
Right.
And I thought maybe we had a chance, and it was a tough decision to still take the trip. But at the end of the day, chose family. Family comes first, and
of course
that kind of dropped us out. And we're scratching and clawing. We got 2 points races left. I would love to get back to at least second. That's going to be hard to do, but if we can land in the top 3 or 4, I think that would be mission accomplished there.
Yeah, I think everybody was busting Doug Stones about the tire wear and a couple holes that he had there. But everybody that I've talked to, including yourself, has told me that the track's smoother now, that there's no tire wear now, and you got to be up on the wheel. It's like going to Grandview. You're not, if you can race at Grandview, you can race anywhere. Now it's starting to be that Bridgeport's kind of the same way. If you can race at Bridgeport, you can race anywhere. And Cale, you've always been a guy that's been aggressive. You don't knock people out of the way to get a spot, but you just said it yourself. You like racing there. You like the getting up on the wheel. And there's a lot of guys that can't do that. They'd rather go down the turnpike, change the radio, and do stuff like that, and be more relaxed. And I think it keeps you sharp when you race at a racetrack like that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I've stepped away from Bridgeport, whether it was because of rainouts or schedule or whatever, and then we go back, it was always kind of a readjustment that you just had to be comfortable throwing Hail Mary sliders, and you had to be comfortable just in the gas all the time. And I agree. I mean, when I go to another place, it seems like, wow, we're going really slow. I do have to learn how to maybe have some more manners as far as out of the gas, using brake, things like that. At Bridgeport, we pretty much could just, take the brake pedal right out of the car most of the time. So all of a sudden we go to a place like New Egypt and we got to dial front brake in the car and other things. Right. So, I mean, that's where I wish we raced more. At the end of the day, I do run a business and I do work, Monday through Friday. So it's tough to race 3-4 nights a week, but still happy with everything we do. And yeah, Bridgeport has been a totally different animal. It doesn't race the same as it used to. We're not necessarily pounding the cushion up top anymore. And some guys wish we were, and that was a cool time when we did that there. But it is nice that we can run the same tires week in, week out there. The track is smooth 9 times out of 10. Occasionally they have an off night, but they're really gotten it to where it's very consistent. And we're good with that. I'm happy with it. And at the end of the day, we can all, pick and choose what kind of racetracks we like, but we also still got to remember that we need these places to be around so we can still do it.
Now, Cale, you have some sponsors on your car. I know you're a Snap-on guy, one of the best tools out there. And I know Mikey Butler's a Snap-on guy. I know DJ Hunt's a Snap-on guy. And one time in the year, you guys got to go to a convention and you wind up missing a race. That happened to Mikey. I know he wasn't happy about missing a race, but what other sponsors you got that really help you out, Cale?
We got some guys that have been with me for years.
I didn't remove him. He cut out because he's driving. So, Cale, if you can hear me, I still have you on the screen. You just got to get back in a better spot. So that's not on me this time. That's on Cale. We were talking to Cale Ross, and he lost his signal because he just left the building, so to speak. Harry Yan, I hear you. There he is. He's back, getting back. There you go.
Sorry,
what, you go under a tunnel or something?
No, we had a phone call pop in. That's what happens when you do it on your
That's
phone.
all right. That's all right, but you're working. All right, tell us about your sponsors, Cale.
Yeah, like I said, we had some guys that have been with us since the beginning. We got Johnny Raz Process Equipment. He's been amazing for us. They build heat exchange equipment and a ton of amazing things. We got Rick at Quality Auto Service. Rick Leving, if anybody remembers him.
I remember him.
Yeah,
yep.
He raced for years, and it's kind of cool. I walk into his shop every Monday as a customer of mine, but we talk racing constantly, and his panel's hanging on the wall next to my panel hanging on this wall, so that's really cool. We got B&T Tools. That's Ben Taramina. He is my father-in-law, and he's a huge part of the program. I mean, he takes care of a lot for us, and couldn't do it without him at all. We got Glenn over at Bridgewater Collision Repair, one of the bigger auto body shops in the central New Jersey area. They actually have 2 locations. They're going through a huge renovation right now. They do a ton of work up there as well. Cauliflower Hoses and Fittings. Those guys do a ton of hydraulic hoses and all different supplies that, plow trucks run, everything else.
Right.
So they do quite a bit. We got Kennedy Welding Supply. He's been hooking us up with nitrogen and everything that we need to kind of keep the deal going there. So that's a really big deal for us as well. So I mean, just there's a whole family of supporters, and I could keep going. And everybody just really helps us out. We can't do it without them. There's no way.
Now, Cale, a lot of people are talking about the car count at New Egypt, the car count at, there he goes again. I lost him again. So he must have got another phone call. I always put my phone on do not disturb. So but he is running his tool truck. He's calling us as he's making deliveries or picking up checks or whatever he's doing. So I can't begrudge him of that. Now he's back again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry.
Hey there, buddy. Oh, that's all right.
See, now I'm having a technical difficulty.
That's all right. It's fine. I'd rather you have them than me have them, because Fred will fire me. But no, I mean, Cale, different people are talking about the car counts at New Egypt, the car counts at Grandview, the car counts at Bridgeport. How are the car counts at Bridgeport? Are they okay?
They're not the greatest, but honestly, it just seems like it's down a little bit everywhere. And I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but I mean,
no, you're not.
Most of the year, I mean, they had 18 to 23 cars, the majority of the year. As the season goes on and we got into the summer, a couple guys would go back down to Delaware racing, so they weren't there. You had the Grosso brothers that were racing there mostly. And then now they just decided to I guess, go race at New Egypt. So, we've lost some guys. The count was pretty down this past week, but there was, I think Kevin Herthler had a wrecked race car, so he wasn't there. If you only have 20 cars or 25 cars, you're 5 away from dropping those 5 the next week with circumstances. Right. And that's happened a couple times, unfortunately. So we wish we'd see more cars. But at the end of the day, if you look at the 3 or 4 surrounding tracks, it's pretty much the same scenario. They're down those 5 guys, unless you talk Grandview. They're kind of on their own island over there. So, I wish it was better, but this sport's tough and it's expensive, and it's the dog days of summer right now.
Yeah, and that's what people don't realize. This stuff is expensive. It's not cheap. And if you get a guy that's doing it out of his own shop, or, there's a one-man band that once he wrecks, that kind of kills his season. So it's right. Kind of a tough deal. So, well, Cale, right. I appreciate you getting through this time and talking to us and doing what we're doing. So I appreciate you being on with me. Thanks for getting on, and hopefully you'll get a couple more wins down there, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow if Mother Nature cuts us a break.
Yeah, we plan on it. I appreciate you having us. Thank you.
No, I like having you, man. You're one of my friends, and you're one of my favorites. So we'll catch you over there tomorrow, hopefully.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Cale. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
Cale Ross, better known as the Boss. And now it's about time I got to see this guy, but I see him every Saturday night at New Egypt. So we'll bring his banner up now, which is basically the same color, but we'll bring this guy on. Earl, hang tight, eat your pizza, drink your beer, whatever you're doing. We're going to bring Danny Buck in here real quick, and we're going to talk to Danny Buck. Dan, what's going on? I see that is Winston, right?
I heard the last time you wanted Winston there, and he wasn't at the shop with me, so I came home to make sure that little Winston was in it this time. So
yeah, absolutely. You know what? How old is Winston now, Dan?
He's 8, so he's getting to be a little old man now. Yeah.
Look, he's like giving you the side eye, like, what the hell's going on here? What are you doing?
He's waiting for Mom to come home, and he's waiting for dinner. So he's got other things on his mind tonight other than an interview.
Dan, Saturday night, I guess the week before wasn't so good. We kept referring back to that in Victory Lane, but Saturday night you drove the wheels off of that car Saturday night, and you did what you had to do. You knew you had to beat them guys to the front. I mean, if you look at my table, I have you, Go Down, and Billy on there. I mean, the three musketeers here, and you said it yourself. It's going to take the last race to decide who's going to win this championship.
Yeah, we had a really good car Saturday. I mean, we've had a great car all year. We've definitely had the best piece that I've had in a long time. Starting about halfway through last year, we really hit on some stuff and got rolling pretty good here, and it's transferred over into this year. So we're just trying to roll with it, man. The rainouts kind of killed me this year, with being able to maybe pad up a point lead there, but it always comes down to that last race. It seems like, it's so close anymore. You can't give an inch, but yeah, we're gonna give it hell.
Well, we had the criers out there that were complaining about the racetrack and this and that and the other, and you and Mike are like, we love the racetrack. The racetrack was great. I mean, it had character, but everybody was racing on the same track, Dan. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I love the holes. I don't know. I just New Egypt's kind of always been a little bit of a character, rough racetrack throughout the years. So you always know in the back of your head that it can come out at any point in time. I don't know if it's the sand, because like Georgetown's the same way. These tracks that don't really have a good base to sit on, just tend to get rough every once in a while. But it was slick, so it wasn't like it was hammered down. It had a top, it had a middle, it had a bottom. If you wanted to go, the bottom I think was the best way around, but I was making most of my passes kind of up top to get around the holes. But if you went through the holes, it seemed like it was faster. So, man, anytime you can just kind of move around like that, Pouch Jr. came from deep, and really came on hard there at the end. So it was a good race. I think all the races this year have been really great for the fans, seeing guys come from the back like that. Not necessarily, watching Choo Choo Train, single file, right. Leader right. Wins from the front row. I don't think anybody's won from the front row at all this year. We had, me, Go Down, and Pouch have always came from deep. And the week that Davey won, I think he came from pretty far back too. So, yeah, if you have a good car, you can go forward at New Egypt. That's for sure.
Well, that move that you made in between the cars in 1 and 2, you tried it and it didn't work, and then you went and done another move. I said to myself, I said, he learned that at Grandview. Go to the top, cut across. I said, that's a Grandview move, diamonding off the track like that. But you were definitely fast. You could tell, as I was announcing, and of course, it's a nonstop race, and I'm losing my voice and everything else. If you listen to the broadcast, I sound like a damn rookie on there, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good race. All the racing was good. And now this sets us up for the last 2 weeks. Of course, tomorrow, if we get a chance to race, if Mother Nature doesn't stick it to us, you're the defending champ of the Short Track Super Series race. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I think we have a pretty good shot. That was kind of like right around, that race last year was when I started hitting on some stuff and just kind of, honing in my setup and stuff that we were kind of working on. And last year we got to travel around. The last 2 years, honestly, we got to travel around a lot. And, that helps, just kind of racing with better people and different people on different surfaces and slicker tracks and, different size tracks all the time. That really kind of hones you in as a driver and lets you make the right decisions when you're at the same tracks every week, racing weekly and that sort of stuff. So, we were defending the Katy race too. So, we won that one last year. So it seems to be like this time of year we start turning things up a little bit. So it's good.
Yeah, and I mean, that race there, that was a pretty big paying race. So that helped you out. You were going to be able to pay for your hero cards. That was pretty funny. And then,
it's no joke. I'm out of money.
Oh, well,
it's been a rough year.
Let me ask you this question, because Harry put this question. I didn't get a chance to ask Cal about it. Your dad's a motor builder. What's the deal with these 525s? Is that a good deal, or what do you think?
I mean, I think they're a viable option. I'm not a big fan of adding more motors to a division. I think that there's room for them, but it's anytime you change rules and stuff like that. And I think I think they kind of approached it a little bit of the wrong way, with allowing them to kind of change stuff on that package mid-season here. It's kind of it was a similar deal, which, with the short track super series with the Wegner engine package,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not comparing apples to apples. These 525s, these guys are spending, 20 some thousand on them by the time they're all said and done. And that's about what a Wegner was costing us to
Right.
start with. They've gone up a little bit, but compared to a $60,000 open small block that you would need on the Deo tour, or a $60,000 big block on the
Right.
dirt tour. So that other, like the Wagner package is quite a bit cheaper than those packages. But these guys, I don't know. The guys that are spending 40 some $1,000s on spec engines, me and my dad both look at each other and go, where's that coming from? There's a huge cost
Right.
difference there with what those
Right.
motors cost to put together and what these guys are paying for them. So it makes us scratch our heads a little bit sometimes, but it's it's I think it's got its place. I think that's kind of what everything's kind of pushing towards. Some of these motor builders, really kind of price gouge, and that hurts the sport a little bit, and guys will spend whatever they want, but eventually it's going to happen even with the 525s. We've seen this time and time again where look at the spec engines. That's supposed to be the affordable division, and now here we are. Guys are spending $40,000 for them, and so I just, it's going to eventually turn into that, even if we, someday down the road, go all 525 crate engines or whatever the case is, 604s or 602s even. These guys, it's racers are our own worst enemy when it comes to that stuff.
All right. Now you got a couple races left. Do you change who Danny Buck is? Do you go in conserve mode now that you have a 6-point leader? Do you just say, the hell with it? I'm going out there and try and win the races. It'll fall upon itself. If I win the championship, I win it. If I don't, I don't. What's your mindset now, Dan?
We've been kind of racing the same way all year. I've been pretty patient all year. Honestly, I've kind of been in conserve mode. When you're the point leader, you kind of have to race like that. That's why I hate points racing. Honestly, points racing is the worst thing for, I run my own race team. So, I see all the bills come in, go out, and, racing for points is, if you want to lose a lot of money, that's the way to do it. So, the schedule I ran last year with bouncing around and hitting all the big shows, and even if you're not winning, that still pays better than being stuck at the same racetrack. We were very fortunate this year I was in the top 3 up until last week, every week at New Egypt. So, and we still can't seem to, make money, but, it is what it is. And, we've kind of been in conserve mode here. But, now that these bigger races are coming along, we're loaded for bear, and we're going to go try to win every week.
Now, what after points are over at New Egypt, you got any plans to go anywhere else, do something at the end of the year, or just relax?
No, we're definitely going to pretty much go back into hit as many races as we can once the season's over with. I kind of pulled the reins back, just with being in the points battle where we only have one car and technically 2 motors. My dad's putting together a couple other spec engines for us here. That honestly we're probably going to list for sale here within the next couple weeks, just to try to recoup some money back. And this racing stuff's getting it'll be a little expensive, but we're planning on hitting the road here. Definitely going to finish the whole short track Super Series South schedule. Try to hit some North Series races. We might do the Fonda 200. We're trying to work through that. We had a little bit of a mechanical failure with Craig and Leslie's car a couple weeks ago. With the car we run at Georgetown, which we were planning on kind of hitting some of these races with. So now we're just down to one car for that. So that might kind of tighten us up a little bit. But we're planning on trying to hit as many as we can, do all the big races here at the end of the year. Yeah, excited about that.
All right, Dan. Now's your chance to hit some of them sponsors that you got, the ones that have been with you for a while, the ones that, are loyal to you. And like you said, it's very expensive, and you got a couple good ones.
Yeah, definitely. Craig and Leslie, CNS Equipment, Short Load Concrete, Short Load Dave, Man Miller Electric, Bank Tree and Lawn Care. Hopefully he's watching this because he gave me a bunch of shit on Sunday. I forgot him Saturday. So I tend to forget a lot of these guys. Skanks Carpentry, Gary Septic Service, Buck Racing Engines, Bellagio Excavating, Pitcher Perfect Painting, Mike Pitcher, BDR Feed, Brett Deo. He helps me out. When we're doing some of these traveling races, he's still on board with us. So can't thank him enough. Arts Radiator, Jones Racing Products, JLR Technologies. Jack Lehner's been a huge part of my success this year. He's really kind of helped us out here and kept us in the know. Now that I'm not racing as much this year as I did last year, so that's been super helpful. And like I said, I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of them here and there, but TV12 Racing Products, they got the best wheel covers in the business. I know how to use them, so they've been good to me this year. So, but yeah, just can't thank everybody enough.
Well, what I try to do, when I come up here in Victory Lane, I try to read the sponsors as you guys are unbuckling and getting all your stuff undone. I think that helps a lot. And it's quiet, and I try to read all the sponsors on the car so you guys don't forget nobody. And Kenny Schneck always busts my balls. Make sure you mention that. And I'm like, no problem. I got you covered. But now I got to say this, Dan, it's always fun, whether you win a heat or you win a feature. We always have some fun. So, and I'm not going to apologize. Just remember that. NGA, I'm not going to apologize.
No apologies. See, I already got a text. I definitely missed Bill Brown, Kenny Bruce.
Yeah,
definitely. And I owe him a sticker on the car as well. He kind of came on late this year, and I haven't done a sticker yet. He just texted me an angry face. So can't forget him. They I have a bunch of silent sponsors too. So I always appreciate them. I usually try to text everybody, after a win that, because it's, to me, it sucks, man. Some of them are pretty big sponsors and I really appreciate it. But, it's sometimes they like to be left silent. So, but can't thank Kenny Bruce enough. He's been a big help for us. He usually starts when we go to Florida. He always says that's just a little bit, but any little bit helps. It's
absolutely
tough getting up and down the road anymore. So, but we really appreciate it to everybody that helps us.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here. I know how busy you are. I know you got a pretty shitty job during the week, so I know it takes to go out in the garage and do what you're doing. I've done it for a lot of years with my brother. I have a lot of favorites, and you're one of my favorites, and we have a good time with each other, and that's what it's all about. So finish this thing, Dan. Do what you got to do. Finish it. I know there's one guy that works on your car that would love for you to win a championship because he's never won a championship, and that's what he wants. So we'll have some fun at the banquet if that happens.
That was the plan all along. He's been to Victory Lane 4 times now, I think, this year.
Yeah.
So
His dad's ecstatic. His dad's in the chat room here. His dad is every day at work. His dad's telling me, "Oh, I hope I got everything crossed. I got my shoes tied twice. My fingers are crossed." Yeah, he's pretty happy. So.
Yep. Well,
all right.
We're making him sweat it out, but hopefully we can pull it off.
All right, Dan. Well, just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you Saturday.
Sounds good.
And it'll be the Nick and Pete show Saturday because Jim's not going to be there, so it'll be the Nick and Pete show Saturday. So we'll have some fun.
Yeah, definitely awesome having you back on the. Not knocking anybody, but your New Egypt Speedway on the mic, man. It was definitely a vibe change, and you definitely amp the place up when you're on the microphone during a feature.
Well, I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you very much. And do what you do. Give the wife a hug for me. Give Winston a little smack on the head for me. And I'll talk. He ain't changed his deal. He's just same dude.
He's sleeping.
Cool dog. Very cool dog. All right, Dan. I'll talk to you, brother.
Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Talk to you. Yep. Danny Buck, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll go up here, and we have somebody in the wings, Earl. So we got to take care of this guy, because if not, I'll lose my regular job, and we can't have that. I won't be able to pay the bills. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Maple Grove, Billy Kleinsman. Where the hell are you at now, Bill? You look like you're in the dark room doing pictures. What the hell's going on?
Well, actually, I'm at my other job right now. I got called in at the last minute, and I needed some hours, so I'm in your break room at where I work at. So, yep.
What's that say on your bowling? Are you at a bowling alley?
Yep, that's where I'm at.
There you go. See that? Now I can call you Kingpin Billy. So what's going on, Bill? Tell me what's happening in Maple Grove. We're getting close to the big one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As you know, we're having the 40th anniversary of the Reading NHRA Nationals, sponsored by Nitro Fish Ultimate Apparel. As you know, we have a lot of great things that we have planned for the 40th. Not exactly allowed to say what we have planned, but I think everyone's going to like what we have planned. But last weekend we had our NHRA Junior Dragster Divisional. We had all the best junior dragster racers in the division. We had a really good, successful event for the first time in 20-some years that event's been held here at the Grove. We're proud to say that event's going to be coming back next year, and all the parents are looking forward to having that. But this weekend, we have a little bit of business to do. It's all about the big money. We have our inaugural 20Ks at the Grove. It's going to be a Friday through Sunday big money bracket race. We have a lot of big bucks up for grabs. We're going to be doing gamble races on Friday and Saturday nights. And we look forward to seeing everybody at Maple Grove this weekend.
Now, Bill, the Nationals. Tell everybody every ticket is a pit pass. They can see these guys up close and personal. And there's no better place to do that at Maple Grove, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. With NHRA, one of the best selling points of NHRA Championship drag racing is every ticket's a pit pass. You might think that it costs extra money. Absolutely not. Every ticket that you get, it's already included, so it's no cost to go into the pits. You can walk around, get up and close and see the cars, get close to them as they warm up, and you get to talk to the drivers and stuff. And that's one of the great things about NHRA is the accessibility compared to other forms of motorsports. NHRA, it allows you to go into the pits, and that's one of the great selling points of the NHRA, and we look forward to seeing everybody this year at Nationals.
Well, we're definitely going to do that. And then we have the Keystone Trucking Nationals. Yours truly will be up in the booth with you, and you'll be giving me all the ads I got to read, and I get to do the truck stuff. I appreciate you letting me come into your domain and do that stuff. I've been amped up, ready to do that. So, Bill, I appreciate everything you do for us here on Wide Open Wednesday, coming on here, giving us the insight for Maple Grove. We got to get you in the studio one time. I'm thinking about coming there one night and doing a live. Me and Fred come there and do a Wide Open Wednesday live up there in the tower with you.
All right, I'd really like that. And as you guys know, it is raining at my place right now. So unfortunately, my rain jacket and umbrella went missing again. So if any of the viewers out there happens to find it, let me know, and I'll be sure you guys get an award.
One question. I have a question here for you, Bill. Is there an age limit in the pits for the Nationals?
No age limit for the pits. Anyone from a day old up to 200 years old is allowed to go into the pits for the Nationals.
Well, there you go. There you go, Dom. And we appreciate Billy letting us know all this information about the Nationals and everything else. During the wintertime, we're going to get into some other stuff. And hopefully, as we get closer, I'll let this little cat out of the bag. Kid Chaos, Kyle Koretsky, will be on Wide Open Wednesday right before we get to the Nationals. So stay tuned, gang. We're going to have Kyle Koretsky on here.
All right. I'm looking forward to that.
All right, Bill, be good. Enjoy your bowling and have some fun.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Have a good night.
All right, brother. Yep, little Dom will be able to go in there, Dominic. But first, let's do this because, you know, last week we had to do this for Mr. Antonelli, and I got to play this because it got so many hits on the internet. I'll just play it here.
Yeah, well, I got a second here. I want to put out a PSA.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And we had some a tragedy at New Egypt this week. And so if anybody's got a 2.3 Ford block laying around, you're not doing anything or something cheap, I mean, our man Dominic Antonelli, he needs a new 2.3 four cylinder. I mean, it's a shame. If nobody has one, the sponsor trying to take care of them, but the sponsor just can't keep up with them.
Yes, one of them being Fred.
That's what I mean. So if we can't find him at 2.3 pretty soon, I'm going to have to start a GoFundMe page for Dominic Antonelli and his 88 car and the 4 cylinders. So,
oh my goodness!
Yeah,
yeah, Dom. We're going to start a GoFundMe page. You may get a lot of hits on that. You may be able to buy a brand new car, brand new motor, whatever. Now, see, since we ran that, Dominic found 3 motors, got the stuff put back together. I see my nephew Will wrenching on it, and he's got it all together. Maybe a little later on, we'll get Dom in here. I got to put this banner up for this guy. We're going to bring him. Well, we'll do this first. Hold on one second. we'll put this up for him first. As soon as I find it. Now, this guy drives a 323 at New Egypt, the modified, moved up to the modified class, but that's not all. He runs Valco wheels for Fred Valsing, and he also runs Shockwave Racing Technology, which is a shock business. Johnny Bangs, young man, just got engaged to a beautiful girl, Sarah Heal, or Heil. You'll tell me how to pronounce that, John. But yeah, so we'll bring Johnny Bangs in here, who drives the 323. John, what's going on? Where are you at? Are you in a camper?
I am in a camper. I'm working actually on a customer's car right now, so just like kind of pop in. So he gave me the space to kind of just jump into this real quick. So yeah, it seems like I don't stop working. It's just always something.
Well, now you're engaged. You're going to have to work for two now. And but
Yeah.
Sarah does her thing, and you do your thing. She's a very accomplished artist. She does beautiful portraits. I have one of them of my dog that she done for me. Yeah, John, things are, I mean, you're like a one-arm paper hanger now. You race the race car, you sell Valco wheels, and now you're doing the shock thing. Tell us a little bit about the shock thing. How did all this happen, John?
So, I mean, I've been rebuilding suspension stuff for about 5-6 years. I was just kind of doing it on the side, just as a favor for people. They tossed me a couple bucks, just get things going. But no, I mean, it's something I took a liking to. It's something I was always interested in. And like I said, just kind of doing that for people. It just more people came on, and eventually, Sarah actually talked me into making an LLC and getting things going. So we officially launched the LLC in November of last year, and just the support we've gotten from people, just whether between New Egypt, the Bridgeport guys, and and all divisions. It's been pretty kind of surreal. We're only in August, and it seems like it's almost like we've been running the business for like 5 years now. So
That's cool. And well, you got the ride with Fred Valsing. Fred puts you behind the wheel at 323. Of course, you're running Valco wheels for him too. Tell us a little bit about Valco wheels. I watched the races on the TV from all over the country. You see Valco everywhere. So we're not just local; they're everywhere.
yeah, listen, Valco, like we have that out everywhere, and people won't believe it, but we're really a company of just a couple people. There's not like it's not like a huge assembly line manufacturing thing like we get it out from some of the other companies. We do it local with racers. I mean, everybody that works there pretty much races something. So it's cool. I mean, it's awesome. Like you get a little bit of pride just watching some of those races. You hear a guy on Valco wheels, you see a guy winning all the way across the country on a set of wheels you put together. Yeah, it's awesome. It's definitely a cool thing. We take a lot of pride in what we do. Every wheel there is has their hands on between just a few people, so the quality control is real tight with everybody. And but yeah, I managed that for Fred. He gave me the opportunity start working for him a few years ago, and the racing thing kind of just went from there. And no, like I said, I couldn't be any more thankful for him for as much as he helps me out. And I think it's a bad, like sometimes he gets there's like an opinion that he doesn't like racing, and I've heard that from some people. And I'll tell you, he, as much as you wouldn't believe, like he watches like 3 or 4 races at a time, where he'll be on like Race Monitor on his phone, he'll be streaming something. I'll come into work, he just comes in, he'll just pop in and be like, oh, did you see the race from here? I'm like, where are they running? He tunes into everything. People wouldn't believe.
That's like people don't know that if you go in that one shed back there, there's all kind of clay back there in little jars. Why? Because Fred wanted to see what everybody else had for clay, and he wanted to try to make his perfect. Now, see, a lot of people don't know that. And Fred, he had you, he had Neil, he had a lot of different guys that weren't superstars. Fred don't hunt for superstars. I mean, David Van Horn was probably, you could say so, and like Valco wheels, there's not a whole lot of people that work there. It's only a handful of people, and Fred puts his trust in people to do the right things, and he put his trust in you, which I think was a pretty good deal. I mean, you're doing a good job. I mean, John, from a crate guy and probably winning every 5th race, you're a contender every time you go out there. Do you miss running a crate car? Probably not.
I mean, yes and no. Like, No, I love the modified. I mean, it's great. Like I always wanted to move up, and without Fred really giving me that opportunity to do that, I don't know if that's something I would have just been able to do, really on my own. Maybe with this new 525 deal that we've been testing and going, kind of keeps it a little bit more, budget friendly. But not nothing beats that experience. That was my dream as a kid. Like you remember me running around there as a
Yep.
kid. My dad, my
Yeah.
dad being an official there and everything.
Yep.
That was always my dream. I always wanted to run there. I thought that was awesome. And like I said, when Fred gave me the opportunity, even before I was running the 323, he lent me a motor to just put my own car. So I think both the races we were supposed to do at New Egypt with it rained out or canceled for some reason, and we ended up running it at Bridgeport a couple times, running at Georgetown a few times, and like I said, just that feeling was great. And then when he told me I was, going to run for him weekly, it just, like I said, it's like a dream come true. Really is, childhood dream come true.
Well, you and your dad will go out of your way for anybody.
Yep.
I'm a pain in the ass for you because my golf cart parks in that one shed and that plug keeps going out. I think your dad's just like, all right, I know what he's going to ask me if the plug is still hot or not.
Yeah.
But you guys, I've known you guys forever. It's really cool to see a guy like you get a break. And I got to mention this. George Garris has helped so many people, and he doesn't get the recognition that he should for what he does. I mean, and and another question I want to ask you: how's Lexi? Is she okay?
Oh yeah. Lexi's good. She ended up just hitting her knee on the box, but
Okay.
she's okay. The car not so much. We're trying to kind of figure that out now. We don't know if we'll be back out this year with it yet or not. But no, she's doing good. But yeah, back to the thing with George. Like George, hey, listen, I wouldn't have been in any of the position I was in without, without the help from George and the Garris family, and you can't ask for a better teammate, with George Jr. And I think it's awesome now that I'm getting to race with him again. He got everything
Yeah.
together, and now he's running modified, which I think is awesome for him. He's having a blast, but it's no, listen, the amount that he does and what we try to do for people, especially with all the rookies we put through the door. I mean, look at Aiden this year. He's doing
Yep.
pretty well, and like you said, even with Timmy Franks, he's going to be getting back out. He got himself a car, so he's going, and
Cool.
it's an awesome thing to be able to help some people out because listen, I wouldn't have been able to do it, in the beginning without help from a lot of people, and some people just need that little bit to get them out there, and they can't do it on their own, and that's what we look for. Just to try to get as many guys out there, and then funny note too. I guess I'll say it on here. Sarah's actually going to be running rookies for me next year. Funny enough, I I went out. I got another car, so yeah, we'll be putting that together. My dad might do a little bit of racing here and there too, but no, it should be cool.
Well, congratulations on your engagement. She's a sweet
Thank you.
girl. And just keep doing what you're doing, John. I mean, you and your dad go out of your way to help people the same way with George. I'll get George on here one way or another. He says he keeps trying and he can't get it to work. So you're probably going to have to help him.
That'll be, yeah, I'll help him out, but that'll be a show. He's
Yeah,
he's an interesting
exactly.
guy. Yeah.
Yep. Well, John, you got any sponsors you want to mention real quick before I let you go?
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, Fred Valzine and Valco. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to do, what I'm doing now without them, and just very thankful for the opportunity. Another one I really got showcased that's been with me for just many years and helped us out with a lot of stuff is Elite Auto Service. Fatty Sherfane down there, they run a great, excellent shop down in Pennsauken. Great place. Blaze Emergency Equipment. They've been with us for a little bit. With those fires a little while ago, they got pretty lucky with their building. Because that could have been a lot worse. I got to thank Burlington Chevrolet, another longtime supporter, Steve Emmons, Excavating, EME, Valzine Equipment, just everybody behind us, the help and support of Penske Shocks, and that just kind of ties into with everything with SRT. We're a dealer for them, and many other great shock companies like Dig, Integra, Bilstein, Fox, just all those guys. It's it's great being surrounded by a great group of people. Hypercoast Springs, Strange Oval, just everybody that's partnered with us.
All right, John. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. But the weather report doesn't look real good for the morning and the afternoon over there.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be one of those things. If they get it in, fans should be looking for it. It's going to be a heavy night. Probably no dust with that, definitely. But the only good thing they got going for tomorrow is, it'll be windy during the day. That helps with drying. I know it's not going to be hot, but listen, if they get it in to, any fans, just, look forward to a great show. Brett brings in a good program. A lot of big name guys will be down there, so should be a good event.
The only problem is if, if we get rain in other areas and guys are not going to want to travel, then it hurts. People need to realize that this is a business. It's not, all right, we're going to get all together and go in the Walmart parking lot and race go-karts. No, you know what I mean? So you got to look at your business sense. You can't lose money anymore in our kind of racing, John. You just can't.
Yeah, no, especially now. And guys are already scraping together to get things going with everything getting, getting more expensive and more expensive. And like even at Valco, we've been selling more parts than anything, just guys trying to piece stuff together instead of whole wheels. It's just the nature of it right now. And especially being, mid-August to the end of the year, guys are starting to run out of money.
Right.
That's when you start to see car counts down. But yeah, like I guess, we'll see what happens tomorrow and go from there. And like I said, if they end up getting it in, I'm think it'll be a really, really good show for everybody.
All right, John. Well, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be there. I just Mother Nature sucks. Okay.
Yeah. We had a good stretch for a little bit of getting stuff in. It just seems like, I know Saturday looks good, but for midweek stuff, I mean, at least the shift of the weather has been in the middle of the week now instead of the weekends.
Right. Right. All right. Well, give Sarah a hug for me. Tell your dad hello, and I'll talk to you later, brother.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, Nick. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, John. Thank you. Yep. All right. Now we got to do some stuff for our sponsors, because if not, and I have been going to the chiropractor. So if you need some work done to your back, you feel like you're having back problems, these are the people you need to see.
Who is all the rage? Sage Chiropractic. That's right. Sage is all the rage in chiropractic care. Dr. Carey and Dr. Mike will take care of you and all your back needs, and they specialize in other things too. Give them a call, 215-497-0700. They have all the equipment, all the stuff you need to get yourself in shape. They're the people that give Fred his adjustment so he can drive his race car on Saturdays at New Egypt Speedway. They are an official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday, so go see them. If you have any problems with your back, or any other problems you think you're having that are related to your back, you got to go see Sage, because they're all the rage in chiropractic care. So see Sage Chiropractic. Their phone number is 215-497-0700. Go see Dr. Carey and go see Dr. Mike.
Yes, Sage Chiropractic. I've been going there for the last 2 weeks, and trust me, I wasn't a believer of chiropractic care, but I am now. Wow, I didn't know I can get cracked, and I shouldn't say cracked because they don't like that, but adjusted the way that I've been adjusted. And I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I have neuropathy in my hands. 90% of it's gone thanks to Dr. Mike. So these people have been on board with us since we started. I talked to Sherry today. Had a good conversation with her. Bob Drayton Incorporated has been locally owned and operated since 1955. Their goal is to provide excellent customer service and quality rentals to every client. They have a large selection of rentals and solutions for every project or every event you have. You can count on their experienced team for fast and courteous service each time you call them. And they have a 24-hour emergency service, locally owned and operated since 1955. That's over 70 years, gang. Licensed and insured, free estimates available, 24-hour service, military and senior discounts, quality products, and an excellent customer service. Check them out, gang. They're located at 151 Big Hill Road, Southampton, New Jersey. Their phone number is 609-859-3629. And they race, that's right, New Egypt Speedway, Bridgeport Speedway. Bob and his son race the 4-cylinder class, and they sponsor the class at New Egypt Speedway. So when it hits the fan, he's your man, and whatever you eat, he's got your seat. They have a 1-800 number,
and it's 1-800-521-2014. So whatever you need, give Mr. Bob a call, and he'll help you out. They are an official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday right here on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. Mr. Bob, he's on the job, and you should be too. Let's talk about transmissions for a minute. If you want to get to victory lane, you can't be in low gear. You got to be in high gear. I'm talking about high gear transmissions located in South Jersey. That's right. We specialize in repair, refresh, and troubleshooting your Northeast Dirt modified transmissions. That's right, high gear. They specialize in Burt Generation 1 and 2 transmissions, and they also service Winters transmissions. It's home of the modified number 13T, driven by Anthony Tramontana Jr. They have reasonable pricing, quick turnaround. You can pick your transmission up at New Egypt Speedway or Bridgeport Speedway, and you can find them on Facebook at High Gear Transmissions. Now, these transmissions are serviced by a great tech, Anthony Tramontana Sr. You can give him a call at 609-385-3084. That's right, High Gear Transmissions. You know, the season-ending season, and you're worried about that transmission, you're worried about it getting serviced, why not call High Gear and get it done? They'll take care of your transmission. You won't have to worry about it. When you put it back in the car, you'll put it in gear, you'll go to victory lane, you'll be in high gear, and you'll be a winner with High Gear. Let's talk about one of our proud sponsors, and that's Five Peaks Media, brought to you by Craig McGill, 668 Woodburn Road, Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Suite 201, the same suite that Wide Open Wednesday is in, and their phone number 609-577-7996. Craig McGill, we call him Magic because he creates the magic behind the lens at Wide Open Wednesday. Whatever you need, whether it's for social media, your business, anything you need. He's been with CBS, the NFL, he's done it all. He's a master at his trade, and he can definitely get the job done if you need anything done in social media. Why is having a director important? Greg will tell you why, because he does his best work behind the lens. Do you want your message out there to the world? You got to go with Five Peaks Media. That's right. Get a hold of Craig McGill. Come on over and see us. This is why we do what we do, because we have magic. Up next, we have Fletcher's Garage. That's right, the main sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday, and they are located at 480 Hood Boulevard in Fairless Hills. Their phone number is 215-295-4931, and their motto is, if they can't fix it, it's broke. It's home of America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher, and he also does Need for Speed on WBCB on Thursday mornings. So keep an eye out for Mr. Fletcher, America's mechanic. Also, we have Reliable Consulting, Sales, Training, and Marketing, brought to you by Chris Bennett. His phone number is 215-206-9053. We thank all our sponsors for participating on Wide Open Wednesday.
Yes, we do, and we couldn't do it without them. And it's just, now that we hopefully got this thing straightened out, I'm kind of mad that Fred isn't here. But yeah, we got to straighten out. I got to play this for my boss.
How about no?
Yes, we got to straighten out. How about yes? But anyhow, doing what we do here at Wide Open Wednesday, you wouldn't be able to get done without them sponsors and all these people helping us. The Draytons, Maple Grove helps us out too. Nitro Graphics, of course, which is Matt Budd, who does a lot of graphics for Maple Grove Raceway. I got to take a minute here, gang. Our other person that does a lot of stuff for us, Kate, wrote something. I'm going to read it verbatim here, so you got to bear with me for a minute. And it's a tribute to a guy that he was a legend in our sport. He was an icon. And me and Earl talked about it a little earlier. And after I get done, me and Earl, I'll talk about it again. So this guy here, Ernie Saxton, we pause in honor and remember one of the great voices and storytellers in racing history. And I mean in racing history, gang. For more than 40 years, Ernie dedicated his life to the sport we love. Of course, Ernie was the announcer at Grandview Speedway. If you ever went to Grandview in the early years and some of the latter years, that's the voice you heard on the microphone. His contributions were countless, and enduring as a respected announcer, his voice became the very sound of excitement at the track. Most famously, Grandview Speedway, where since 1968, he called nearly 1,000 race nights over 45 seasons. His presence in the tower was much a part of Saturday nights as the roar of the engines and the waving of the checkered flag. But Ernie was so much more. The voice. He was the founding member of the Eastern Motorsports Press Association, which stands strong today, serving as the president for an extraordinary 40 years. His columns in area auto racing news educated and entertained generations of readers, while his work with Inside Track Motorsports News brought his passion to NASCAR to Canadian fans as well. He was trusted advisor to racers and promoters, teaching the importance of sponsorship, marketing, and above all, relationships in building the sport. Now, Andy Belmont was one of them guys. Ernie found him so many sponsors and taught Andy so much. You always wonder why Andy had all these big sponsors. Between Andy and Ernie, that's how they got all this stuff. Those who knew him best would tell you that Ernie had a larger-than-life personality, whether he was addressing thousands in the grandstand, a banquet hall full of colleagues, or simply sharing stories over a meal. His presence was unmistakably. He had the rare gift of making every room brighter, every race more thrilling, and every conversation more meaningful. His journey into announcing began almost by chance at Atlantic City Speedway in the early 1960s. What started as a fill-in assignment quickly turned into a lifelong career, one filled with passion, laughter, and even a few unforgettable moments like the day a potato bug interrupted his very first call. Ernie never lost his enthusiasm. He only stepped back from the microphone when his health made the climb to the tower too much. And if you ever been to Grandview and went up to that tower, a young man has a hard time going up in that tower. Not because the fire had dimmed, as he once said, announcing is still fun. Beyond the track, Ernie and his wife Marilyn built Ernie Saxton Communications and Motorsports Consulting firm that only promoted short tracks and teams, but also promoted the beloved Grandview Groove Souvenir magazine. Together, they were partners in every sense of the word, professionally and personally sharing a lifetime of memories made possibly for the sport. Ernie's work earned him countless honors, but perhaps his greatest legacy is the way he connected with people. He reminded us that racing is not only about speed and competition, it's about community, about relationships, and about stories worth telling. This week, the racing world remembers him. We celebrate not only the achievements, but also his character, uniquely American, endlessly passionate, and always committed to the sport. Ernie Saxton leaves us as he lived, a true newsmaker, a voice of the people, and a friend to all racing. Rest easy, Ernie. Godspeed, my friend. I have one thing to say about Ernie. When I first started at New Egypt, I had a fan that was drunk, and he was heckling and carrying on. And I told him, if you don't like the way things are going and you're going to continue to do what you do, you're going to have to watch races from 539. Wow, did I get flack for that. Never in a million years did I think the next day I would get a call from Ernie Saxton. I got a call from Ernie Saxton. He said, Nick, I love what you do at New Egypt. He said, for every 50 people that hate you, there's 100 that love you. He said, just keep doing what you're doing. He said, I know what happened down there. He goes, there's people that are going to do that go there, and that's what they go there for. They don't go there to watch the races. They go there to get drunk and have a good time, which is fine, but sometimes they get carried away. He goes, don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff because everything's small. And I took that to heart, and it was an honor for that guy to call me. Then through my wife working at Belmont's Garage, I had a chance to go to some personal things that he was there because him and Andy were real tight. And he would come to Belmont's Garage and talk to my wife, Nancy, and he always told Nancy, make sure you give Nick a hug for me. I will miss Ernie. He was a good guy. And he was an announcer. He was what I am. And, it's hard because he was from around this area where I'm at now in Langhorne. So if you're interested, I have his obituary on my page. And Sunday, we will get a chance to say, see you later. Never say goodbye. My wife tells me never to say goodbye. It's always see you later. So Kate Brown wrote that for me to say tonight. I cannot say how much Kate means to Wide Open Wednesday. Kate has been under the weather, fighting migraines, if anybody out there knows how to cure migraines, we need to find her a cure because she's too good a person to have to be going through migraine headaches. So with that being said, Ernie, Godspeed. We will miss you. We will never forget you. You made a mark on our sport more than you will ever know. And another guy that has made a mark on our sport and continues to make a mark on our sport, and I am honored and privileged to have him be a part of Wide Open Wednesday. He takes time out of his day to be with us on Need for Speed when Fred does America's Mechanic and Need for Speed. And anytime he gets a chance, he comes on our show. And I'm going to bring him back in here with me, and that's Earl Kraus. Earl taught me a lot of things when I first started announcing, and all good. I mean, you're not going to meet a pure person in this guy here. And I can truly say this, that I announced with a guy named Pete Wortman, who is the same way. If you ever hear a bad word out of Pete Wortman's mouth, somebody must have really pissed him off because
Pete's a great guy. Yes.
He doesn't get like that. But Earl, I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for us in Wide Open.
Well, thank you, Nick. It's my pleasure.
I know that Fred admires you so much for all the stuff that you know, and you educate us with the historic stuff. And it's just so cool to be able to, when I ran the race paper and talk to you when we were making the race paper together, and then get to know you aside of that. I have a picture of you and I when I first started at New Egypt. I got to find it.
That'd be great.
But yeah, you're one of my mentors. I tell people that all the time, and you're pure, Earl. You're just one of them rare people that just knows how to get it done. I mean, Foxwell loves you at WBCB.
I mean, great talk with him as well.
I don't know if you listen after you get off the phone on WBCB, but that's Earl. There's nobody better than Earl, and that's all he talks about. But yeah, Earl. I mean, you knew Ernie pretty much. I mean, he was an icon. You said it at the beginning of the show. He was just one of them guys.
Yeah, and Ernie was truly one of a kind. And the words there from Kate Brown, they really said it all, and what you added to it as well. Ernie, he came off a lot of times as being kind of like a very, very gruff, but I think he enjoyed that persona. But he would help anybody at any time. He was always a phone call away if a racer needed help with sponsorship, with marketing, whatever he could do. And you mentioned when you were first starting as an announcer that he picked up on your situation there at New Egypt, that you were being heckled by a fan, and he called up and gave you some fatherly advice. And that's how he was.
I thought I'd get a phone call from Ernie.
Yes.
Never. I thought I'd get a phone call from you first. I never expected. I'm like, who is this? He goes, it's Ernie Saxton. I'm like, huh?
Yes. Nick, this is Ernie.
Exactly, Nick. This is Ernie. Ernie who? Bert Ernie? No, Ernie Saxton. Okay.
And he wrote all these years for Area Auto Racing News. Prior to that, he started fairly young. He actually went to the Reading Fairgrounds, Reading Speedway in Pennsylvania, when he was a teenager, I believe 13 years old. That's when he saw his first race, got hooked on the sport. And he was fairly young. I would say maybe late teens, early 20s at the most, when he started writing for Illustrated Speedway News, doing a column, his early column, and race results. I recall him writing racing results from Trenton Speedway for the big Indianapolis car races and the modified races. And, from there, he went to Area Auto Racing News after Illustrated Speedway News closed its doors. And he is certainly one of the senior writers with Area Auto going back to the 1980s. And, kind of poignantly, last week, he had sent a column in for last week's edition of Area Auto, right about the time that he was taking ill. He became ill with pneumonia, and it escalated sadly into a heart problem, which sadly was the reason Ernie passed away. But he was working on a column for this week's edition, even as he was ill with pneumonia. And his son, Richard, after Ernie worsened and he was in the hospital, his son, Richard, sent that column in to the Area Auto Race News office, emailed Lenny Sammons and myself that he was doing it. And we're very honored to run what turned out to be Ernie Saxton's very last column in the paper this week. And, it's when you read the column, it's typical Ernie. He had his opinions on local and national racing news. His opinions were always, he could be very blunt, very much to the point, but his opinions were always fair. He looked at both sides.
Right.
And when you read Ernie's final column in Area Auto Race News this week, you can hear his words, you can hear him speaking. And of course, he didn't know that this was going to be his final column. So it's something to be treasured. And, I had the privilege over the years of working with him at the motorsports show, at the indoor races. I would hear him announce at Grandview Speedway. He loved the sport, loved the people. And
absolutely.
One of the things too, it was mentioned in the words from Kate about Marilyn Saxton, his wife of 47 years. And Ernie always said that she was his rock in business through his Ernie Saxton Communications, and most certainly in life. And just like a lot of us, we have strong people behind us in the terms of wives that, my wife, Pam, your wife, there's so many that are behind the scenes, racers that have wives, girlfriends that support them.
Yeah.
Ernie's wife, Marilyn, was behind him constantly, and they traveled the racing road together. Wherever you saw Ernie, you saw Marilyn. Right. And when she passed away in 2022, again, very unexpectedly, that took so much out of Ernie.
It did.
Not just physically, but mentally. And now they're together. They're together on their next racing road. And they'll always be with us in spirit. And I always say it's the racing family, that we're all together and we all draw strength in times like this. So, yes, indeed, on Sunday, when we gather there for Ernie's service, it'll be a celebration of life as well. There'll be tears shed, but there'll also be laughter. There'll be Ernie Saxton stories. And it was said before, who mentioned it about you never say goodbye. Your wife I think, mentioned that. Yes.
She never says goodbye, or else she always says, see you later. Since I met her. Yep.
That's it. And it's kind of like, you can say, it's a long last so long. Hey, we'll see you soon. That's the way to look at it. So, we'll toast. I have my Yeti here. We'll toast to Ernie.
There you go. I've met so many great people in racing and had so many opportunities because of what I did. I mean, when I started this journey doing what I do, I was going to be a race car driver. I bought a car. I was going to be a rookie in '98 at New Egypt, and I was offered a job at New Egypt thanks to Mark Blackwell and a couple other people and Ricky Grasso. And speaking of Ricky Grasso, he did have triple bypass surgery. He is doing well. He's on the mend. I wasn't allowed to say anything until we knew what was going on. But he is doing well. Jared Creeder is doing well. He's going to get better. And of course, Stuart Friesen. He had to buy another car, so it was easier for him to go to his doctor's appointments. I seen that picture on the internet. But yeah, I mean, I took this journey. I think my brother was a little upset that I didn't become a racer, because he said I would have been a great racer. I raced go-karts. Of course, he wouldn't let me do anything but out of his shop when I'd done it. He bought me the best of everything so I could do it. And I enjoyed having that time with Rich. And we had a good time. We won championship at New Egypt, Flemington. Right. And then when it came time for the big car, we had a Windsor car and we had a New Egypt car. The New Egypt car was mine. That was going to be my rookie car. And then I said, John, we can't run one. You got to have two cars. You can't have one car run Friday night and Saturday night. So I said, just take my rookie car and make that the New Egypt car. And thank God he got to drive it, because that car was terrible. It wouldn't turn. He said, Nick, you got killed in this car. Mm-hmm. And we had Dave Hoffman go over. He said, this car is evil. He said, get rid of this car. So, and then I had the opportunity to, and I have no regrets of doing what I'm doing. And then last year when I wasn't at New Egypt and me and Fred teamed up to do this, I wouldn't trade none of it. I mean, I'm having a blast with Fred. Fred's a great person. People have no idea how he saved Nick Leach, because the Leach in me wanted to come out so bad, and it didn't because of Fred. And I'm glad that it didn't. And I'm grateful to be back at New Egypt and
Yes.
doing what I'm doing. I miss the people. I miss the drivers. I miss the kids. And they missed me too. And I'll tell you what, I'm very thankful that they accepted me and they took care of me. And
Well,
guys
Buck
like
said
you.
tonight, you are New Egypt. That's what Danny Buck
Well, you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that think I am and say that I am. I just wish the one person would think the same way. That's all.
You and Pete make a great team. I've known Pete for many years as well as Pete's dad. He's a wonderful gentleman, Pete Wortman Sr.
Yep.
And listeners, if you ever get the chance at New Egypt to talk to Pete Wortman Sr., he's another one. He's a great historian of the sport. Just loves the racing history, and he's just a grand gentleman. You can see the old phrase, "An apple is falls far from the tree."
Right.
Pete Wortman Jr., Nick, your teammate on the mic, he's just like his dad. I mean, they're great people.
Well, that's why me and Pete work so well, because he's the calm, cool, and collected guy.
Yes.
And I'm the knucklehead. And there were many nights when I would wear a headset and he would be like, "Nick, remember where you're at. Remember what you're doing. Watch what you say." And he saved me from the Leach coming out of me. That's what I always Leach coming out. And he'd be like, "You're good. You're good." And And then when I stopped wearing the radio, he goes, "Carry the radio close to you so I can talk you off the ledge." And Fred has talked me off the ledge here a couple times with the stuff we were doing here when it didn't work out. And when I got this to work out with everything being the same way that it should be, Matt Roser was the first one to comment, "Oh, look, you got it worked out." And I was like, "Yep, it's about time." So, yeah, I think we're definitely in the right direction. Nick Crocker built us a rocket ship in this computer. It's
really nice. Yes.
Yeah, it's working really well. We'll be able to do what we want to do. And when I talked to him about it, he said, "You can launch a space shuttle with that computer. You shouldn't want for anything. It's definitely fast. It definitely does the right stuff." He said, "You shouldn't want for anything." He said, "If you have any problems, let me know." So I kind of figured out what I needed to do with the camera. I changed the settings on the camera because I didn't have the software in the computer itself. I put the software in as soon as I got here, changed it around. Lo and behold, now we're good. So
very good.
All right. Well, we're going to end this, Earl. I appreciate you being on here with me. I didn't think you were going to be on, but I'm glad you did come on.
Worked out well tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Give Pam a hug for me.
Before we wrap up, I want to mention two things, one about Wall Stadium and one about New Egypt. Two people specifically. At Wall Stadium on Saturday night before the Cliff Krause Memorial Race, the managers of the track, Diane Krause and her daughter Emily, who again is the general manager, they asked Ray Shea from the Garden State Vintage Stock Car Club. He's the forever president of the organization, the founding father of the Garden State Vintage Stock Car Club, to be the grand marshal, to give the special words, "Drivers start their engines," which Ray did. And Ray, great gentleman, again, a historian of the sport. And he's a former champion at Wall, longtime racer. And he was telling me before the start of the race how much it meant to be asked to do the gentleman's start command, because his late wife, Nancy, who was just like with Marilyn Saxton, Nancy Shea was by Ray's side so many years and supported him 100%.
Right.
She passed away a number of years ago. Ray said one of her dreams, one of her bucket list items, was to stand on the home stretch of Wall Stadium one night and say, "Drivers start their engines." She never got that chance.
Oh.
So Ray on Saturday night, he did it, and he dedicated it to Cliff Krause, and he dedicated it to his wife, Nancy. He said, "I'm doing this for you, Nancy. I'm starting the race in your honor."
That's cool.
That was really nice.
Cool. That's really cool.
The other thing at New Egypt, it was cool to see, unfortunately, Ethan Bill, he won the race, but got DQ'd for the tech because the car didn't make weight. But it was so neat to see Johnny McClellan come back, after all these years and win a feature.
Yeah. When he came out for the match races and won a couple match races, I'm like, wait a minute, because we didn't know who was driving the other 29.
Right.
And then somebody said Johnny Mack. I'm like, Johnny McClellan? So then, and Johnny's always happy, always a nice guy.
Yes.
They go down to the beach, they have a good time. So that's why I call him Surfside Johnny.
Yes.
So, and he's always upbeat, no matter what's going on. He's always upbeat. He's the kind of guy that you need racing. Racing needs a guy like him because he's just an upbeat guy. He's just a good guy. And we have a lot of fun with him. I mean, I think we're in good hands, Earl. I think we'll be all right. I think, like Cale Ross said, we need a few more cars, but it's the end of the year. So, it's going to be sporadic for a while, but, we just got to work through it and do what we got to do.
That's it. It's like you said, it's the end of the year. Some teams are a little bit financially strapped, but hey, we'll get there. The crowds are there. And, even if you have a relatively short fields of cars, the racing is outstanding. The racing, all the tracks right now, super competitive. And hey, best of luck tomorrow night in New Egypt with this weather. Let's hope it goes off and you have a great show.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard any complaints about Wall. Haven't heard any complaints about Bridgeport. Haven't heard any complaints about New Egypt. Me and Jim had a good time. This week, Jim's not going to be here. He's going to another concert. So it'll be the Nick and Pete show. So
there you go.
This Saturday night. So me and Pete will definitely have some fun. So somebody has a note here for you, Earl. I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, I see that. Thank you, Matt. That's very nice.
So, see, I'm learning all this stuff, Earl, and now that this machine works and I can do this, I wouldn't be able to do that before because if I clicked on it, the machine would probably cut off and we wouldn't be able to do any of that. So now I'm learning how to do all this stuff and we'll be able to do more stuff. Actually, last week when you were gone, I actually had two guys on the screen at once, which was Kyle Belmont and Ryan Simmons, because Kyle never met Ryan face to face. I said, well, tonight you'll get that chance. So we got them to talk to one another, and Kyle's actually been helping Ryan with some setups. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. Yep, and it's funny because Ethan Bill's mother, Stacy, I was friends with her when I was a teenager.
Okay,
and she come up to me at the racetrack and she goes, "You don't remember me, do you?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." She goes, "It's Stacy," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" And lo and behold, and I told Ethan, I said, "Me and your mom were buddies when we were teenagers." He goes, "I know. She tells me all the time." I said, "Okay." So, but it's pretty neat how it's a small world, Earl.
It's really a racing world. It's a racing family, Nick.
Yep. And that's exactly what it is. And I have a lot of fun. I love the kids. I have a lot of fun with the racers. I mean, when I pull up there in my golf cart and I'm going to interview a guy after he wins a heat, I got to thank Dan from Extreme Lettering. He made me a nice heat race sign for the heat race winners. Now they can hold a sign. And they have a good time. We mess with each other and have a good time. And it shows that they're having fun. And that's what it's all about.
Good. Well, I've been enjoying your interviews and the whole show because, again, I'm at Wall Stadium announcing on Saturday nights. So on Monday, I tune in the YouTube, video of New Egypt Speedway from Saturday night. And I can watch the entire show, including those interviews you do at intermission. So it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all stuff that they put in the box and then they play that with the downtime. So it works out really good. They're doing a really good job with that. So, all right, Earl, I'm going to go home and see Nancy and get something to eat and get ready for work tomorrow.
Okay.
And hopefully ready for New Egypt tomorrow.
All right. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Readers and listeners, hey, great to be here and let's keep it going.
Thanks, Earl. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
My pleasure.
All right, buddy. So that is, now we got Jason Kelsey over here. We got to change that. But no, we wouldn't be able to do it with all the people that participates with us on this thing. It stinks that Fred wasn't here now that we got everything worked out, but he'll be here next time. There's only one more thing that we got to work out. I know this sounds good, but I think we got to make one adjustment on that. But other than that, everything worked out pretty well. We're going to end the stream now. We appreciate everybody being here with us. Earl Kraus, Cale Ross, Johnny Banks, Danny Buck, and all the regular players. Billy, of course. I would be amiss if I didn't play this for Billy, so I got to play this for Billy.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, 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 trying to catch me riding dirty. My music
That is Billy Kleinsman, the announcer at Maple Grove. I caught him vacuuming the track down there at Maple Grove and decided to make that for him. I forgot this guy.
Hey, you ever wanted to get shot? And I'm not talking about by a gun. I'm talking about getting shot by one of the best photographers around, Jim Brown Racing Photos. You ever need your racing photos, you got to get them from Jim Brown. Hey, what can Brown do for you? He can produce your best racing photos. Jim Brown. Are you interested in singing the national anthem at New Egypt Speedway? All you got to do is go to the email address, nesanthem@yahoo.com, to sign up. That's right. Send a short video, send your name, your phone number, and Dina will call you back, and you can sing the national anthem at New Egypt Speedway.
Yep. Get a hold of my niece and she'll hook you up. In the meantime, we're out of here, gang. Next week's going to be even bigger and better. Fred will be here, and we'll be having a blast doing what we do. So thanks for everything, guys. I appreciate everybody coming in the chat room and talking to us and doing what we do. Sherry Drayton, you know what you need to do. You know your mission. Should you accept it? And we'll leave it at that. In the meantime, we can play a little music on our way out of here.
There's a storm that is coming. Everyone is running away. But you hear a different drummer drumming. You waited your whole life for this one day. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Time to unleash the beast inside. Time to show the world what you were already found.
And thanks for being a part of Wide Open Wednesday. We'd like to thank all our sponsors and everybody involved here. Thanks for stopping in. We hope you enjoy the show.